Hey guys, just wanted to give a quick extra help video and demo some letter connections. So the first one I'm going to demo is I had a question about how to connect two O's next to each other. Okay, so you have your baseline to half of your X height. You put down your first oval. You have that shade to the left of that hairline. And from here, I usually start all of my exit strokes from half of the X height. So from here, you're going to do a slight curve up, pick up your pen, and then do your second oval. Add a shade, and then your exit stroke. Okay, so the question was, do I have to bring it lower than this? I wouldn't go anywhere near lower than the middle of that X height. Okay, if you wanted to add a variation, add oval, shade, exit stroke, can do an open loop. And I cover more of this in the bonus lesson, so I'm not going to go too much into depth for these particular examples. But the question is, if I go below the half of the X height, it's just not going to look, it's going to look too heavy, that connecting stroke. And so I like to keep everything going up from the middle of the X height is what I would recommend. The next letter connection was letter B to an A. Okay, so here we have entrance stroke. Totally missed that right there. But that's okay. Let's try that again. It's really late here right now. Okay, so let's do that entrance stroke. Moved it over too much. Okay. Okay, now we're going to connect the B to an A. Okay, so from here, again, I start from the middle of your X height, slight upstroke, pretty much, and that somewhere not completely in the middle, but about 1/3 above the half of the X height. Okay, then you're going to go right into your A, oval, and then your underturn stroke. Okay, so that's how I connect a B to an A. Okay, next I have a question regarding T to an H. So here's your basic T. Underturn stroke. Ooh, it's rough. Okay, then you have your ascending stem loop. And then your compound curve. Okay, so the question was, is it okay if my shape of my H is a little bit more flatter when I'm connecting into the letter using the crossbar of the T? Okay, so let me just see if I can use this pen to clarify what the question was. So here I have a T, and I'm going to use a crossbar of that T to go into the H. Okay, and the question was, the area of this H seems fatter than obviously the basic H. And is that okay? And my answer is yes, because as you see in this example here, when we're using the crossbar of this T to enter into the H, the angle is a lot, the angle in which is entering is higher. And also, it's impossible to keep, I guess like if you wanted to keep it the same, you would have to bring this part up higher. But it doesn't look as elegant. I feel like this looks really, it looks too narrow, only on the top part. But here it's okay because we started it at the waistline. But with this example, when you have a crossbar of the T going into the letter H, it's only natural that the shape of this H is going to be a little bit more rounder and not really rounder, but it's still that oval shape here, but it will be quote unquote fatter than this basic shape. Okay, so that's totally fine. Something that we do cover in the flourishing class is when you're doing the intersections, like we try to intersect at nearly right angles. And so that's also another reason why, you know, having that open shape here for the H is normal. Okay, moving on to the next question was the letter W to an I and a W to an R. Okay, so here's your entrance stroke. Okay, entrance stroke. And you have your underturn, second underturn. Okay, from here, we are trying to go from W to an I. So we're gonna go from middle of your X height, exit stroke up to your waistline, and then go right into the I. And you finish off with your dot. Okay, when you connect so for here, because I'm connecting to an I, you can bring that exit stroke all the way up to that waistline. When you have a letter like R, so the question was, what about if you have W to an R? So here's your first W. And then you're going to connect it from exit stroke, again, half of the X height, no lower than that. And then you're going to go straight up past the waistline, add a shade to the left of the hairline, come down, and bring it back up. So there's your W to an R. Okay, if you want to do it for the second variation of that R, okay, you're going to have this sort of a shape. You go from the middle of your X height, go up, and then you have to bring it back, right back down again to that baseline. Okay, so let's do it right here. Here's your first, second underturn. From here, you're going to go up and back down. Okay, and this, be mindful of that slant. Come up for the hairline. And this is the second variation of that R. So that's how you connect that W to an R. You just want to watch the spacing between the left and the right of that exit stroke to make sure they're pretty even and balanced. Okay, next question I got was regarding double Fs. Okay, double Fs, you can keep it uniform or you can feel free to make them different. Here's the first F. You can do a comma dot here, get a pressure release, and then exit stroke. I will say that you want to watch your exit stroke. This one right here, actually, I can already tell it's going to be really close to this loop for that first F. So you want to make sure you keep an eye out to make sure that exit stroke is a little bit, gives you enough room. Okay, so let me do that again. Okay, ending it thin to thick. Exit stroke. And then you can do it again. Same shape. And then come back up. Okay. If you wanted to add a variation to, usually if I have two letters next to each other that is the same, I like to make one of them look a little bit different. Okay, so if I want to keep one basic F, then the other F you can try is thin to thick to thin. You can do a nice curve. You're going to retrace. Add a shade on this side. And then you can even add a curve line along that waistline. Okay, example, if you were to write the word coffee, the only double letter F that I can think of right now. Okay, so in this case, the E is touching that crossbar for the F. So I would make this crossbar a little bit higher so that you would avoid crossing it, intersecting with that E. Okay, so usually like if I were to write the whole word, I wouldn't even cross this yet until after I write out the rest of the word. Okay, let's see. So we did W-I-W-R, double Fs. Next we have the name Kristen. So here's your C. Horizontal entrance stroke. Oops, let me try that again. Spacing here was wider than here. Ready? Okay. Then for the H, I like to connect it from the bottom of the baseline. You don't have to. It's just a personal preference. Kind of like to just hug it. Hug the uppercase letter. Okay, H, R, I, S, T, underturn for your Y, and then going right into the N. Okay, so this one too, you start at the baseline, you're going to go up, and then come back down for the overturn for the N. You can finish off your strokes. Make sure you dot your I's, cross your T's. Okay, so when you're doing the Y to the N, again, I'm looking at the space in between here, just because once that becomes unbalanced, then the spacing can be off. It can affect the spacing between those letters. Okay, so make sure that usually when I'm going up from that baseline, the Y, right when I'm doing this part and coming back down, my eye actually looks at this area here while I'm going down, because I know I want to mirror that kind of like space as I'm going down for this downstroke. Okay, so that might help you guys if you were to think about it in that way. Okay. The next question was regarding how do you connect K to a capital E? Okay, so with capitals, you do not connect, you don't necessarily have to connect them. So here's your first E. I'm gonna retrace here, add a shape. Okay, because it ends right here, you're gonna do an entrance stroke for the K. Okay, but remember we said that you can start at the baseline, but I like to go just a little bit below the baseline. Then do underneath that baseline. So that's how you would connect an E to a K. Once you get to, let's say, flourishing techniques, then you will learn that you can actually bring this loop up this way, and then you can connect it out to the K like that. Okay, but for the basic strokes, for the basic letter forms, you disconnect, you will disconnect the E and the K. It doesn't necessarily connect with the stroke. You can just add an entrance stroke for the letter K. Let's see. I think I have just one more demo, which is Y to an M and a Y to an R. Okay. Seems like there's a lot of questions about Y. Okay, so here's your first. Y. To an R. Baseline goes straight up above the waistline. Or a Y to an M. And this one, actually, I'm going to write the whole word. This was nymphia. And M, then P, H, axis stroke, ascending stem loop, compound curve, underturn stroke, oval, and then your underturn stroke. Okay, so there's Nymphia. Finishing off with the dot. Okay, so that's how you would connect a Y to an R and Y to an M. Okay, so I think I covered most of the questions, or if not all of them. Oh, I do have one more, which is it okay? I think Erica asked this, is it okay for you to use different R variations in the same word? And the answer is yes. There's really no strict rules about having to be super strict about only using the basic letter forms when you're creating something. It's up to the artist to bring in different elements and styles. And so if you wanted to do different variations in the same the same word, yeah, I totally encourage it and love it. I'm going to just show you, this is, again, it's going to be shared with you guys in the bonus lesson, but I'll show you guys something really quick here now. So here's your basic R. And let's say you have two letters of R next to each other. You can do an open R. You can do just a retrace R. So those are just really quick examples where you can do just slight adjustments to add variety to your word if you have more than one R next to each other. Okay, so I hope this has been helpful for you to just get some extra demo and video. So let me know if you have any other questions. I'm really happy to record more demos for you guys and help you along through the rest of the course. I hope you guys are enjoying the uppercase letters, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you.